Hello there, I'm Azhar Tagaya and you're watching Ringgit Sense. Now they say love your job and you'll never have to work a day in your life. For many, this saying is very true because when you really love what you're doing and you have the passion for it, then the work will seem effortless and more a joy to do than anything else. So what makes for great job satisfaction? Is it the pay, job benefits, or the people that you work with? In this episode, we take a look at two companies that have struck the balance between work and life by offering innovative benefits to their staff. First up is RevAsia, a company that produces interesting and engaging content for its users. And when it comes to employees, more importance is placed on the quality of work rather than just the hours clocked in. Watch.
This company pays for your parking, gives you free breakfast, free flow of coffee, and pays for you to go to a concert with colleagues. Welcome to RevAsia. RevAsia owns and operates some of Malaysia's top online publications. The company currently consists of around 130 employees. Quite impressive, considering the group can reach a combined total of more than 5 million users across Malay, Chinese, and English-speaking audiences. We speak to General Manager of Business Operations, Samuel Wee.
Ever since we formed the company about 4 years ago, we've grown to be more than 130 people, and we have about 10 different brands across 3 different primary languages, so English, Malay, as well as Chinese language. So we have Sales.com, Obulan, Virocham, and Rojakla. And what we really do with all the brands is that we've created a sort of a news site for a generation that doesn't really read the newspaper.
RevAsia allows work-from-home flexibilities, but at the same time has created a comfortable enough workspace that people can look forward to every day.
So the World Blues Most Democratic Workplace is an award. It's a global award given to companies where people come in and they feel like they have a lot of sense of autonomy of what they can do at work. As a smaller company, a couple of years ago, Sales.com, we won that 3 times. And then as Rev, we won that 2 times in a row, last year as well as this year. So for us here, I think one of the great perks is that we're very flexible in terms of our working arrangement. So we say come as you are, right? So people come in as they are literally in terms of like dress code, as well as work timing and the projects that they take on. There's no like real official time. I mean, there is an official time, but for us, it's performance over like timing, right? So we don't want people to come in and just try to clock in hours, but we want people to come in and sort of produce the work they're supposed to produce.
Now, we really have to hear from the employees themselves.
Favorite part about working here is, okay, one is the environment, the young, energetic, dynamic environment where, you know, most of us are in our 20s. And yeah, it feels good to have to work with the like-minded people around you. And another 2 things that I like is the free breakfast every day. But of course lah, first come first serve basis kan, you cannot like really, you know, serve it to all of the employees in the company. And also free parking. Here, working in RevAsia, parking is free ma, it's paid by the employer.
For content analyst Hanis, RevAsia became a clear choice when she was ready to switch companies almost a year ago.
And nowadays, as a fresh grad and also someone that trying to build my life, so I need something like beneficial towards me and of course the salary, because we live in the city that needs so much commitment and everything. So yeah, benefit and also salary is important for me.
The first item on RevAsia's culture code is go for growth. True enough, most employees agree working at RevAsia is like working with a group of close friends who are constantly encouraging you to grow.
I like to work here at everything. From morning to night, we won't feel like very stressful and we will feel very playful and relaxing here. Definitely, we have no Monday blue.
I enjoy the flexibility here, where everyone can take the ownership and then they can share the ideas whenever they want, and then they can run the ideas or the projects immediately to test it, so without going through so many levels.
The feeling of being family. So everyone is very close together, and we can just make our suggestion as well. So if anything that we feel that we want to change in terms of how we work and in terms of how the team structure, we can just suggest, and then our suggestion will be taken into consideration.
Oh, and did we mention they also pay you to hang out? Sam will let you explain this.
What we've done here is that we've allocated a certain budget for us at Rev for about more than 130 people. We've got about 20,000 ringgit plus a year where it's dedicated just for team activities. But instead of being it top-down, we are trying to make sure it's bottom-up. So what happens is that basically anyone in the team, anyone at all, right, can suggest a company activity. All they have to do is to come and speak to me and say, like, for example, hey Sam, we want to go for this live music show at Menjadi tonight. Can we go and do it? I said, oh, okay, how much would it cost? Maybe 50 ringgit a person, right? And what happens is that we create a budget. The have to do is that go and post it up on our Facebook internal group, get the RSVPs, and we're good to go. So we've done everything from watching live music to going hiking, playing laser tag, and dodgeball. So what it gives, I think, all the team members is a sense where company teams activities is not just done by the company, but really anybody can organize anything, and it's really sort of just take the budget, go along. As for me, as long the team they're spending time together in and outside of work, having fun, growing together, I think there's a space where we can create a really good culture for the company.
Not just limited to the smoke signal, the company has many different company activities like level up sessions, which are basically learning sessions organized by team members. And once in a while, when employees are feeling stressed or facing writer's block, go ahead and clear your thoughts with a game or two of foosball or ping pong. So, what kind of employees would fit in here?
We look for bright, passionate, smart young individuals. So as long the motivation and competence is aligned to what we want to do, we're very happy to take them on. Obviously, we hope that good people will come and join us here at Rev.
After the break, we're going to take a look at how a property development company helps their staff balance between work and family life. Stay with us. Welcome back to Ringgit Sense. You're still with me, Azara Tagaya. Now, before the break, we saw how Rev Asia empowers their Gen Y staff by giving them flexi working hours, resulting in a more democratic workplace. So what about employees who have a focus on family life and raising their kids? The next company we take a look at is Ecoworld, a 5-year-strong property development company that only entered the market just recently, but has now grown to 1,300 employees across Malaysia. We wanted to see for ourselves how a company in the private sector can help to enrich the lives of working parents.
What you're seeing looks like a typical activity at a child enrichment center, kids learning how to build robots during the school holiday. This is actually the staff training room at Ecoworld's headquarters, and these are the children of the staff. Every school holiday, a parent support network set up by the staff organizes school holiday activities like this. Parents get to bring their kids to work the whole day during this period, and the best part about it, the company pays for everything. According to Angeline Lau from Ecoworld's Talent Management Department, this is one of the many ways the company tries to help staff balance work and family life.
We definitely understand, the struggles that the parents are facing, having to juggle between, the work challenges and, the role as caregiver. So acknowledging this need, we set up the Parent Support Network.
The smile on the faces of the parents as they watch their kids learn says it all. Job satisfaction here is high among them.
Normally during school holidays, I think most kids, they will like to wake up a bit later. So what happened today is they are the first to wake up and they are excited to come here.
Besides school holidays, parents can also bring their kids to work when there is an emergency at home. This small room is called Just Like Home. If the maid is sick or the babysitter is not available, parents can bring their little ones here to work while their child plays in the room. There are video games, toys, and school workbooks to keep the kids occupied while the parents work on their laptops. As a property development company, Ecoworld has property sales galleries all around Malaysia. We visited one of the sales galleries in the Klang Valley to talk to their staff about why they think Ecoworld is a great place to work at. For Kelly Ng, who used to be an intern at Ecoworld, the caring attitude of the company brought her back to work permanently.
Jobs everywhere to me are the same, but the people makes the most difference. I felt I was valued as an individual because even after my internship, the team, the people, continuously engage with me and send me information about the company to keep me abreast of the happenings, the information, and that's why I've decided to come back to Ecoworld as a permanent employee.
70% of the staff at Ecoworld are Gen Y, and they try to fulfill their career needs by providing a clear career path for them. The camaraderie among the diverse staff is apparent when all of them come together to various company events. This is the glue that helps bring the diverse staff together. The top management, run by the baby boomer generation, gives their Gen Y staff a lot of trust to implement the direction given to them. This helps build confidence among the younger staff. Besides the camaraderie at work, we asked them what are the benefits that they love at work.
Benefit is definitely the bonus. The bonus in our company is very good. It bases on our KPI.
You have plenty of job perks that you can find quite unusual in terms of you have longer maternity leave and even Hajj leave for the Muslim employees that going to doing the Hajj pilgrimage.
We offer the staff purchase discount. So when employees purchase residential property from the company, they can enjoy up to 10% discount. And this benefit is given to them once in every 2 years.
Okay.
So this means not only they can buy a house for their own stay, they could take this as an investment opportunity to create wealth in the long run.
You know how people say there's no such thing as a free lunch? Well, they've obviously never worked at a company like this one. Here, one of the staff benefits is they provide lunch for their staff every day, and the menu also changes every day, because this is one of the ways the company takes care of their employees.
When we visited them during the Deepavali week, the menu of the day was Indian food. There were staff from various departments sharing a meal together. This is one of the ways the company helps the staff save money.
Very importantly is, of course, it is an opportunity for our employees to interact with each other. Because not all of us get to work with each other all the time. So lunchtime is where you have an opportunity to just chat with anyone and catch up with your friends.
The good team spirit at Ecoworld has not gone unnoticed, as it has led them to winning various HR awards. So how does one get a job here? We asked Angeline what do they look for when they hire fresh graduates.
What we are looking for is how active the person has been during the college or varsity days in all the extracurricular activities, whether the person has led any meaningful project during the college days, or whether the person has held any important positions in the club. So we will ask questions pertaining to how the person go about executing the project, or how did they go about overcoming challenges.
When we asked the staff here what was more important, financial rewards or job satisfaction, all of them said the same thing.
I believe that it's only when you're passionate that you are doing what you love every day and you don't hate going to job every day, that you will excel wherever you are, wherever you go.
The various benefits put in place by Ecoworld has certainly created a happy workplace with staff balancing work and life. From our days spent with them, we found that Ecoworld is not just a company that builds homes, but they are also building dreams for their employees.
So is Ecoworld hiring? The answer is yes. So staying with the topic of employment, it's been widely discussed these past few weeks, especially with the recent tabling of the budget. One of the items worthy of mention is the proposal to extend maternity leave from 60 days to 90 days for the private sector. Now, it's certainly a benefit that many mothers would love to have, but it's something that employers say will affect productivity at the workplace. So after the break, we'll be speaking to the Malaysian Federation of Employers about the cost of implementing it and if it actually affects productivity in Malaysia. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Ringgit Sense. You're still with me, Azaria Tagaya. Now, earlier we took a look at two different types of companies offering various benefits to their staff. And in the tabling of the 2018 budget, one of the proposed items is to increase the maternity leave from 60 days to 90 days for the private sector. It's a controversial benefit that many employers say will affect productivity. So with us in this studio today is the Executive Director of the Malaysian Employers Federation, or MEF, Dato' Shamsuddin Bardan. Dato', thank you so much for joining us on Ringgit Sense.
No, you're welcome.
Okay, it's our pleasure. Yeah. Okay, so talking about the benefits in the recent tabling of the budget, so one of the things that has been quite talked about is the extension of maternity leave from 60 days to 90 days. Yes. So first of all, what does MEF think about it?
I would say that the extension from 60 days to 90 days is actually as a shocker to us, because there was no discussion, there was no, I would say, even any kind of indication that this is going to be so. And especially so, you look at the kind of benefits that the employers are giving currently as far as maternity leave is concerned. Mm-hmm. Yes, we do have 60 days currently, mm-hmm. but that 60 days is fully paid by the employers. And if you look at other jurisdictions, basically, most of the countries, even in developed world, actually have a system where the maternity leave period is actually being paid through co-funding. Mm-hmm. Yeah? And in fact, in Singapore, for example, when the government of Singapore extended the maternity leave from 60 days to 82 days, the additional leave period is taken over by the government, even for the private sector, in the sense that the government provides full pay for that period, and that is only meant for the first two births, but from the third to fourth birth, mm-hmm. the government of Singapore actually funded the whole maternity leave period.
Okay, so in implementing this, we actually taking a look at the statistics, it's actually said that an average of 250,000 women take maternity leave every year. So do you think that maybe some employers will be quite resistant to abide by this proposal? Why? And will it incur more cost for them?
In terms of actual costing, this can even be the additional leave period just to pay the 30 days maternity leave can be up to more than 700 million per year. Yeah? And of course, in the private sector, when you actually, when your staff goes on maternity leave, you have no choice but to get a replacement staff to do the job. And that can be additional 700 million per year. And if we add it together, it's about 1.4 billion. So that I would say is a big chunk of our money is going to go on this particular funding of the maternity leave. And mind you here that 1.4 billion is over about 18 billion wages costs in the private sector. Yeah, so I would say that is more than about 5% increase in costs, about 6% increase in costs, which I think is something that most employers can hardly do so in the current climate, because things are very challenging. And even we have some big companies now talking about restructuring, VSS, reduction of benefits and pay, things like that. So here we are talking about additional 30 days maternity leave at a very challenging period, basically. So I would say that perhaps what the authorities can do, we can discuss about the matter and perhaps introduce the additional leave period on a staggered basis. Don't come it hard on the employers. Okay. And I would suggest that perhaps we look at about 10 days for a period of 6 years, so that at the end of the 6-year period, we can still have 90 days. But of course, like I say, the funding of it is very, very critical also.
Before we wrap though, very briefly, what are your views on some other benefits that were mentioned during the tabling of the budget? For example, Flexi Hours and also allowing pregnant staff to leave work early.
Yeah, of course, the pregnant staff leaving early is only meant for the public sector employees. But even that also would have a lot of negative impact, because as a service user from the public sector, we're not going to be sure whether the lady in the first place that we are having appointment is pregnant and at what stage of pregnancy, and whether the lady is going to be there if we come at say, for example, we come at 4 o'clock. Then they say, sorry, this lady is not here because she went back. So in that kind of situation, it can create a lot of, I would say, negativity. And I would say that really that is not productive to have ladies that are pregnant for more than 5 months or 6 months to leave early, 1 hour earlier. And somehow they say that if your husband is nearby, then your husband also can go one hour earlier.
The other benefits, Flexi Hours, working hours.
Flexi Hours basically is, MEF fully supports that, yeah. Of course, we would be better if that kind of policy is being accompanied by legislative changes. Currently, we have, I would say, a lot of constraints, especially from the Employment Act side, because, Employment Act says that work is being calculated based on daily basis, on weekly basis. Whereas many of the developed countries, is adopting what we call it as annualized working hours. They say that so long as you had fulfilled your working hours that you had contracted for the year, you don't have to come for the rest of the year. Then you can stay at home and enjoy your wages. And this can be very good, say for example, for the tourism industry at the East Coast, for example. We know that East Coast around this period would have major floods, things like that. There's no point for you to come to work kind of thing, and tourists would not be there. So I would say hotels to actually close during that period, say for 2 months or 3 months. And if actually you had put in all the hours during the good season, the good period, then okay, let us not come to work for 3 months or whatever period, and then we stay at home, we still got our wages. That I would say is a win-win arrangement that can be.
Well, I'm afraid that's all the time we have. Thank you so much for sharing with us.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you, Datuk Shamsuddin Bardan, Executive Director of the Malaysian Employees Federation, MEF. Well, guys, that's all the time we have for this episode. Thank you so much for watching. Now, hopefully today's show will inspire some of you to find ways of balancing work and personal life, and especially if you're an employer looking to create a more conducive and productive working environment. Now, this is also the last episode of Ringgit Sense for this season. We're taking a short break and we will be back next year. You can watch excerpts of our previous episodes on our Facebook page, Ringgit Sense TV3. I'm Azara Tagaya signing off. Thanks for watching.